Good morning, Bix Weir, Roto.com with your morning horn of Z's, your sip of decaffeinated tea. What are we on? Day 12 of the cleanse? Feeling good. I wasn't feeling good last night. I'm like, I started watching the cooking channel. Never watch the cooking channel when you're on like a reboot, a cleanse, a diet, whatever you want to call it. Oh, it's brutal. It looks so good. But I hung tough. I had Amy behind me saying, turn it off, turn it off. Um, but doing well. Down 12 pounds, I believe. That's like a pound a day. Something similar happened the first time. If I can, I'm going to make it through. But it seems mentally harder this time for some reason. Maybe because I'm watching the cooking channel. I don't know. A few things I want to talk about today. First of all, cryptos. Absolutely great that we're seeing a lot of green everywhere. Yes, it's still 100% manipulated. They can click a mouse and drive it down, click a mouse and drive it up. I do believe the good guys, the powers that be behind the scenes, and the bad guys in the cryptos want the cryptos to start bringing in the new bubble. So they'll bring it up. And we're not in bubble territory yet. We will be at some point. It might be a while from now. Still a lot of fear. No new people are coming in, obviously, because you're not hearing about it on the news and blah, blah, blah. But we do have the other situation, the failure of the banking system, which is literally, we are days away. Not days away. Let me take that back. This weekend, they needed $500 billion so the banks stayed in business. That's going to have to increase over the next few months if they want to stay in business, and it's going to keep increasing. At some point, we're going to have a hiccup, most likely in Europe, because they're not allowed to bail out banks. Boom, contagion, matter of weeks, everything goes crazy. That's what you need to be prepared for. That's what I've been preparing for over 20 years. And it's been a great learning experience over that time. And profits and gains won and lost and craziness. Yes, if I sold the peak of silver at $50 and then bought back at the low, I got in silver at $4. Now it's whatever it is, 17, 18 bucks, right? I got in cryptos. Well, Bitcoin was $200 when it crashed back 250, I think. I was screaming for everybody to buy. Now it's at 8,000. So you kind of forget about where you came from over time, but you don't, because you get all these. For the vast majority of the time, you're just getting beat up by people. What a stupid investment, blah, blah, blah. It went down so much, blah, blah, blah. That's why hodling is beautiful. Go back to the original time you bought your first silver ounces. Right now, between silver and cryptos, I would buy silver. Silver's been price suppressed for 150 years. I do think that is going away. There wouldn't be RICO charges against the biggest silver manipulator on planet Earth, the most systemic bank on planet Earth, JP Chase, unless something big was happening. I think they will follow up with those charges and make more charges as the system breaks down, because it has been proven that JP Morgan, who's the largest silver and gold player out there by far in the derivative market, and that's not just me guessing. Go to the OCC and look up who are the big U.S. banks, at least U.S. side, U.S. banks in silver, and there's two. There's two. JP Morgan and Citibank, they play off each other, trading back and forth. If JP Morgan's taken down, I would expect Citibank to pick up the silver short position if they are allowed. I don't think they'll be allowed to, though. And if you look at the silver short position over time, everybody who's held it, Drexel Burnham, AIG, Bear Stearns, everybody who's held the silver short position has been destroyed, and JP Morgan's next. So that's yes, I do believe we're coming near the end of the manipulation of gold and silver, which would be great. It'd be great for humanity, which means also these banks will be going under, which is not great for humanity. No, I take that. It is great for humanity. We have to go through a certain amount of chaos to get to a sound system. And I do believe a sound system is waiting for us at the other end. They've had 150 years, well, say 110 years to plan for it since the creation of the Federal Reserve. They've been planning for it. This is all part of a delay. They found millions, billions of ounces of gold in the Grand Canyon, billions and billions and billions of ounces. And they had to cover it up because gold was money back then, and there was only 300 million ounces in circulation. It would have destroyed the monetary system. They created the Federal Reserve. If you're on the road to Rudy, you understand what I'm talking about. And go to roadtorudy.com. Go through the free articles. Just do a search for any subject you want. You're going to find anything you want. But I'm real happy about cryptos going up. Doesn't mean I'm going to sell them. I'm a hodler. I'm holding on for dear life. And with some cryptos, it is dear life. Our friends at Veritasium. It is dear life moment. I don't know what's going to go. I am not selling my Veritasium, in case anybody is wondering. I do not plan to sell my Veritasium. Yes, it might go to zero. But I believe that the project can save our current problem. The biggest problem in the financial system right now is the criminality at the COMEX, the LBMA, the New York Stock Exchange, the bond market. All these problems are 100% caused by rehypothecation of assets, the DTCC not settling trades on any exchange, completely criminal organization, completely criminal system. That's going to break down, and then we need to implement something new. Reggie had a great solution to the problem: peer-to-peer crypto transactions, capital transactions, and that is why the government shut him down. Now, did they shut him down or did they steal his technology? Right now, they hold the Veritasium. I'm going to talk about this later this weekend on a private road and a Patreon post, what my take is. But ultimately, no, I am not selling my Veritasium. I wouldn't recommend anybody buy it. It's an all or nothing type of thing. If the government does say, oh, okay, we're going to use Veritasium because we own 98 million of them, and Reggie agrees to some technology transfer, I don't know what the agreement was. But they did lock up the Veritasium. They're selling all his Bitcoin and Ethereum from the Veritasium Corporation. But they aren't selling the Veritasium, the 98 million. That is locked up in the same contracts as it was locked up in. These are the 98 million of the 100 million that were created. Lots going on behind the scenes. I don't know the answer. So if you believe in the psychics, something else is going on. I'll show you that in a second. But yeah, cryptos, Bitcoin Cash doing great. And that's one of the main ones. I look at a few of them. I'm like, okay, what's going to take the place of our current money? Litecoin, obviously. And Litecoin's up in this last 7 days, 25%. Yes, I do think Litecoin would be the best means of exchange, along with Bitcoin Cash, too. Bitcoin Cash, I think, mainly will be used in Asia because of I think the miners are in cahoots with the Chinese government. And that's where a lot of the focus for Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin SV, I think, is a fraud. Well, see, I don't know if the technology is a fraud, but Craig Wright is a fraud, in my opinion, and that'll be proved by the end of the month. I think February 3rd, he has to prove he's Satoshi. I don't think he is. But if he is, he's pumped Bitcoin SV so many times. I think this last pump was him going to the court, and the court saying, yeah, you can have it another month. And he said, I'm going to prove it. And it got pumped up. I think he needed a lot of cash to get his ass out of his current predicament. And I think it was a pump and dump by Craig Wright. But I don't know. There are people who do know, though, within the good guys. The NSA knows. I'll guarantee you that. They know everything. They're listening to this conversation right now. If your TV's on, they're watching you. They know everything. They have all Clinton's emails. They have all Clinton's scary little videos. So yeah, I don't think there are many secrets when it comes to who are the criminals and who are not. And I think the good guys behind Trump's the bull in the china shop. The good guys behind Trump are working to take out the bad guys, and they will implement a new financial system at some point, I believe. We will find out, though, right? And it ain't going to be easy. That's a fact. Silver and gold still on absolute lockdown. But right now, I would be buying silver before cryptos if I was like a new buyer, for a few reasons. One, to level out, as cryptos go up, the percentage of cryptos to your silver and gold, if you hold gold, go down. So to level it out, you might want to sell some cryptos to buy some silver, if you're looking at it in that way. I know a lot of people who's like, I can't buy any more silver. I can't store it anywhere. I get that. What a great problem to have, right? If silver goes to say $600, $700 an ounce, what a great problem to have. But we will see. All right, I want to talk about this briefly. So yesterday I did a few days ago, I was shitting on DIVI. I am the first to admit, and I admitted in the interview, I hadn't done a deep dive on DIVI. I just heard some of my people say, oh, Ben loves DIVI, so I'm going to sell my Litecoin for DIVI. And I'm like, no. And then I was like, who are the buyers? Who are the buyers? What's the use case? Those were my three things were centralization, the use case, and then the inflation. So I talked to the CEO, Jeff McCabe, was kind enough to come on, and me and Ben, and I talked to Jeff, and because I wanted to find out, one, is this a fraud? Is it just a pure fraud where there is no use case, he's trying to steal money? I don't think it is a fraud, but the problems are still there. One, the use case. That was my big thing, because in the white paper it said he was trying to be a cryptocurrency. It was always trying to be a cryptocurrency. And I'm like, you can't have a centralized cryptocurrency because DIVI is completely centralized. And I don't have a problem with that if you're a company doing something else. And that's what Jeff was explaining to me, that DIVI has all these ideas and projects they're working on to make crypto easier for people to, there was all, he's working with this bank to get remittances in DIVI and things like that. That's awesome. That's what I wanted to hear as far as use case. But nothing has been implemented yet. So after the interview, I'm like, what would if I were to summarize DIVI, I would say DIVI is a field of dreams coin. If you build it, they will come type of thing. And I think that will be true for DIVI. If Jeff and his team can build what he wants to build and can implement it, and it's working, and they get the code and all the stuff that you have to go through, then I would recommend investing in DIVI. Potentially. There's another problem I want to talk about. But until that happens, DIVI's going to struggle of getting people in and with the funding and all that. They need to get that use case. They need some of these big ideas to happen. And they need it to happen fast, because over time, with a proof of stake masternode concept, over time the ROI on the coin goes down, and everybody who got in the beginning, who had these huge ROIs for staking, will get out, and there's got to be a reason to hold the coin. So that's kind of where we are. I don't think it's a scam per se, but they better get some stuff on the books going, and that use case has to come to fruition, not just a hope and a dream. And I don't think it's a hope and a dream. I think they are actually working towards things, but I would not recommend investing in it without, other than just play money. I did, in order to understand the concept of DIVI, I bought one of the master nodes, the copper level, was like $1,000. And because they were saying, hey, we got this new technology, a one-click masternode setup, and I'm like, wow, that's cool. So I did it, and he was right. One click, and the masternode's up and running now. It's only been like 24 hours, so I haven't earned any, got any redemptions. And I don't have a problem with that methodology as long as there is a use case. Right now, all the DIVI's going into staking and back into the master nodes. And as long as there's a reason to hang on to it, that's fine. But as I discussed in the video, there's a pool of liquidity and inflation that's being built, and that pool gets bigger and bigger over time if people keep their DIVI in the master node and then watch it build to try to get to the next level. And the problem obviously comes in when if there's something that happens or they don't fulfill their promises, the ROI goes down over time, and people start saying, "Well, I got to get out." Once a few people get out, the lack of liquidity in their coin, which I tested that too on an exchange, their biggest exchange, which was BitTrue. I tested the liquidity because it was $1,000 to get a node. So I said, I wonder how easy it would be to get that money out. So I did two when I bought my Divi, I did 2 market trades at market. And it might have been the timing or whatever, but when I bought the Divi, it didn't do anything to the price. What would $1,000 do to the price? When I sold the Divi, $1,000 worth of Divi, the price dropped 3%, 3.5%. And it might have been just a little air pocket because I sold them both at market just to keep everything even. So I'm trying to figure it out, and that's why I want to talk to them. Yeah, the biggest thing, I think the only problem that might come up, not the only one, but the problem that is lingering is implementing the use case, getting it up and running such that people don't say, okay, the only reason to participate in Divi is to get coins and sell those coins, which obviously right now there's no liquidity in Divi. So I just want people to understand. I wouldn't be investing in Divi until they have some use case that is up and running and working, other than within the Divi network. Buying nodes and staking and stuff. That's my take. I do think Jeff's a good guy, and sounds like he's trying his best in a very difficult thing to do. And he claims, the other thing that we didn't talk about, that after thinking about it, a roadmap. Now, Bitcoin Ben has said, no, they don't want to promise things and not deliver. Well, that's all right to a point. But when you're a proof of stake masternode concept, promises don't mean much because time is your enemy. Over time, more and more coins are created. The puddle, the pool of liquidity that could dump on the market at any moment gets bigger and bigger, and the ROI gets smaller and smaller. So I would suggest to Divi to really work on a timeline. If you want to be conservative with dates, that's great. But I would say if you want people to really buy into the concept and participate, I would say get yourself a timeline with it doesn't have to be exact dates, but an idea, at least a quarter of when you're going to achieve these goals. Because right now it's field of dreams. If you build it, they will come, and I think that's true. And if you remember that movie, Field of Dreams, the guy spent his whole life savings building a baseball field in his cornfield. And then because he created this amazing field, then people came to watch this. It was really cool. I think Divi's kind of like that. But you got to build the field, and you got to have a use case for your. So I want to thank Jeff. And I was reading some of the comments down below the video of the interview, and good comments, and people are kind of on the same take as me. Some people are just, Divi's great because I can earn Divi when I stake. That's not exactly a great reason to get into a coin. It's not a great reason at all, because of the liquidity pool that could be dumped, and because the lack of liquidity in the exchanges right now. Even Jeff talked about when they sell Divi, they're looking for people to buy off the exchange because it's not liquid, which is true. It's not liquid. And when if everybody rushes for the door for whatever reason, say the government comes down, it's centralized because Divi is a corporation. When I click the master node, it goes to their servers. They're the ones running the coolness was not that cool. They're the ones who are running the master node, not you. It's so that you can participate. It's on their server. So that's a centralization part. And I don't have a problem with centralized cryptos, but recognize that they are subject to confiscation, Veritasium, and can be shut down. That's why they don't make good cryptocurrencies. But as far as a company, which this is, Divi, the Divi company and Divi Foundation, not the foundation part, but the company part, yeah, it's a company. It's not a decentralized type of. That's my take, at least. I'm sure that the Divi lovers will say, well, Bix, you don't get it. Probably don't. But that's my take. At the moment, things change. Hopefully, Divi can solidify some of these huge goals and show the people, hey, we told you we are going to do this. Bang, here it is. Here's the mobile wallet's supposed to be coming out soon. I think the mobile wallet would be cool. If they really want to get the Divi into the hands of the people, the mobile wallet will be a big thing, a big step at least. But a lot of people have mobile wallets. The other thing, let's not confuse when he talks about, in the interview, he'll talk about linking up Litecoin and Divi so that you'll be mining Divi but paid out in Litecoin. Let's not confuse this. They won't be mining Litecoin. They're going to be selling Divi to get the Litecoin to put in your account, or using atomic swaps, which is the same thing. You got to have someone willing to give up their mined Litecoin for the Divi coin, and that's continued downward pressure on price. Just to be clear on that stuff. But it was good, and I hope to continue conversations with these guys, and I am cheering for them to bring some of this stuff into the crypto markets. That would be great. But I would not recommend investing in it until they start doing that. If you build it, they will come. It's exactly that. You guys build it, then people will come on. Anything before that is pure speculation, and that's where they are right now. Speculation, without any off ramps. Just remember that any money you put in, there's really no off ramps because of the illiquidity in the exchange and the lack of use case. All right, okay. Here's something that's kind of cool for you Veritasium lovers. This psychic, and I know you guys don't believe in psychics. No, some of you do, some of you don't. This psychic has posted, now this was posted in September, the Veritasium SEC lawsuit. Her name is Aurora Wright, and the YouTube channel is Sleep Woke, one word, SLEEPWOKE. Veritasium lawsuit, timing, predictions, dates. Damn, she's kind of nailing it. It's crazy. And then she had a private road thing, which she puts up also. And it kind of lays out the entire thing that's gone on so far and what will go on in the future. And it links up with Cliff High's data, at least his original data, that maybe Reggie Middleton behind the scenes, or the U.S. government at least, is clearly trying to get their hands on Veritasium or stop it. Either get their hands on it to use it or get your hands on it to stop it. You line up the two SEC cases that hit at the same time, which was the Block 1 EOS ICO thing, and then the Veritasium. And you're like, how can these possibly equate to fairness? It is ridiculous. And then you think, okay, is there something else going on? But check it out. This is not investment advice to listen to a psychic about where you're going to invest your money. But it's, these psychics in the RV, the remote viewing that the crypto viewing guys did on Veritasium, everything's kind of lining up saying there's something more going on here. So I'm not going to sell my Veritasium. I might write it to zero. I don't know. I don't think I'm ever going to sell it to the fair fund that was set up. But I will talk about that more in a private road video later this weekend. All right, that's all I got for you today. Again, the crypto world is crazy, and it's hard to figure out what's going on behind the scenes. And worse, the government makes it so hard to figure out, what coins are they going to love. Like if the government comes down on Divi, whatever government has jurisdiction over the Divi corporation, then Divi is done. So, but government comes down on Bitcoin, there's nothing they can do. But the government comes down on Litecoin, there's nothing they can do. But I do think the government is just trying to delay the inevitable. And at some point, they will embrace certain cryptocurrencies and crypto platforms. I think Ethereum is high on the list globally to be the platform to build businesses on. And Bitcoin, obviously, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, all those should make the cut no problem. Everything else, it's crapshoot. And it's you can say that, oh, who cares if the government, U.S. government comes down, there's other governments. Yeah, but I mean, like with something with DIVI, it would crush DIVI. They couldn't handle the sale pressure of the pool getting sold. So that's my take. Any questions, comments about the DIVI interview? Listen to the DIVI interview and go below it in the comments section and give me your comments, because hey, we're all learning about this stuff, and it's cool. It makes us think, and it makes us hopefully we'll end up in a much better place with cryptocurrencies that are doing the right thing. And I hope that Jeff McCabe and his team can fulfill the ambitions that it has to spread cryptocurrency to the world. This is Bix. Talk to you guys later.